Compound inequalities. Compound inequalities are two inequalities joined by the words and or. If it's an and inequality, the graph is going to be the intersection of the two inequalities. If it's an or, the graph is going to be the union of the two inequalities. Union means both of them put together. So this first example, you don't see any word and or. That means it's an and. The first step is to solve them separately. Write out 8 is less than 3y minus 7. And then take that middle piece and repeat it. 3y minus 7 is less than or equal to 23. There's my first inequality. There's my second. Solve them separately. You'll get two answers. 5 is less than y, and 5 is less than or equal to 10. So here's all of the different ways I can write that answer. I can write it as two separate inequalities with the word and. I can write it as a compound inequality. I can write it in set notation, the set of y such that y is less than 5 is less than y, and y is less than or equal to 10. I can do it in interval notation. 5 is less than y. My lowest number is 5. It's not equal to, it's an open parenthesis, and y is less than or equal to 10. 10 is my highest number. It can be equal, so I have a bracket. Then the last thing I did is I graphed both of them. The green is y is less than 5. The blue is y is less than or equal to 10. And then I took, because and is an intersection, I took the red to show my final answer. The intersection is where the two of them cross. It's not all the rest of them, it's just where they cross. And they crossed at the open circle all the way up to the closed circle. K plus 6 is less than negative 4, or 3k is greater than or equal to 14. This is an or inequality. I solve it the same way. Solve them separately. Solving this one, solving this one. I get the answer, k is less than negative 10, or k is greater than or equal to 14 over 3. Here's all the different ways I can represent that answer. I can write it as a compound inequality with the word or. I can write it in set notation. And I can write it in interval notation. The funny thing with interval notation is that because there's two answers, I'm going to have two different sets of intervals. If k is less than negative 10, the smallest it can be is infinity, negative infinity. The highest it can be is negative 10. So I've got those in parentheses because it's not equal to. And then I have this funky u, and this u stands for the word union. Because remember, that's what an or inequality is. It's the union of two graphs. So negative infinity, comma, negative 10, the union with k is greater than or equal to, so I have the bracket, 14 over 3, comma, infinity. And when I graph it, it's the union, so I just show both graphs separately, and both graphs together is my answer.